Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today it's going to be again a very easy landscape. It's not that difficult. Uh, we'll use different colors, but I'll let you know what I'm trying to use. But main thing is try to make sure if you're following along, you can actually try this painting as well. Same thing, I've taken the same canvas, 6 by 8 canvas. Most of them actually I sell them with a small easel. You can actually check it out on my website. Excuse me for any noise that you hear. That is the festival which is going on in India now, Festival of Lights. Some kids are actually firing crackers and then some noise. So, and my throat is not good. I'll try to speak less and then paint more, so at least you can follow along. One important things, anyways, I will mention. So today I decided that usually in India, most of the places you will find this. Fevicryl is fabric acrylic colors. This is what I'm going to use this time. So if you're following along, I think these are very easy to find. But I ran out of white, so this I have to use. I don't have another other option. And raw umber, or otherwise, if you have burnt sienna, we can actually use one of those. Although I'm using this as olive green here, I have a little bit darker hookah green. This is one thing that I ran out, so I have to use this. So these are the things that I'm going to use. What I've laid out here is just for the sky white and ultramarine. Instead of cerulean blue, I decided ultramarine blue. Maybe it might give that punch, but we'll see. But main thing is I don't want to make it too dark. So first, what we'll do is we'll try to draw some lines, composition wise. Looking at it, actually it is 1/3 and 2/3. So if I am going to go somewhere here, that's where is my horizon is going to be. Doesn't have to be straight line because the far away trees are there. Then that boat is there, which actually cuts through the horizon. See, you have to see sometimes. While composing something, but this is actually a very good photo. I picked it up of Pixabay, commercially free, so you can actually find it on Pixabay straight. The photo actually is taken very well in terms of where it divides, and it's not below and above, so actually gives a good composition as well. There are some electric poles are there, which I'm not going to put. All rest of the trees I'm going to put all of them. There are other paintings. You can actually see this houseboat can be bigger in size. Then actually you will end up spending a little bit more time. But as a whole, this is my landscape with that boat house, and then the water, a little bit of reflection. Everything else is there. So perspective wise, this is going to be somewhere there. That's my perspective. The bank of that particular river. Then if I take that, it's just somewhere. I'll just draw this so you know. Again, these lines are actually whatever I'm drawing are of perspective lines. I have a course on perspective 1 and 2 point perspective, including ovals and circles. You can have a look at it. Uh, Many students have taken that advantage of learning. This one I have to see where this actually goes. This is the boat which is supposed to be in water, and perspective as this has to go down, and depends actually how long do I want to put this. Then if I take this down, I think maybe I need to put it in a two. So then these lines I'm actually adjusting. So then I will try to post a sketch of this so you can actually use if you really want. And as you can see, this houseboat is a little bit far away. The you have We'll try to paint as it looks, but not too deep into the painting where I start putting each and every detail. So that's the intention. So this is the straight, and this goes here. It goes there. So that is that arch we need for this houseboat and that stuff. inside, and then here again perspective wise this actually has to go downwards. If I actually think that this is where it goes, this is where it goes, and then this and down part is there. Just put that. There's a top roof which is just like that, laid like that. So you know that where it's actually going at the top of the roof, and then these are the openings here. So again, they are going to be going perspective again, arch. All these arches, everything is in the perspective course. If you actually struggling with perspective, um, this has to be smaller, so this has to go here. How to draw an arch in perspective, everything is there. So the inside ones, actually, what we'll do is we'll just tackle that later. What? Sorry, like I said, my throat is not good. This line actually has to come here. This is a little bit muddy and color. Again with perspective. So trees will come here. So we'll place those trees there. Just have to make sure that this boat is a little bit wider. Okay, so I'm going to use for now a round brush, liner brush, angular brush. This is 12, 13 years old. Let the bristles have become hard. I'll use this one brush. But actually, but that's okay. We will see. We'll try to not touch this part. Even if you touch, it's fine. Okay. So first, I'll take white. Start from here. Actually, I should start from top, but I just don't want to touch with ultramarine blue straight. So I'm going to use this. This bristles of this brush become so hard that I can actually rub it. So bright bristle brushes are very good for like if you want that paint to just get into the tooth of canvas, rub it. So that way, if you use very soft brush, you won't not be able to get into that. So different brushes, different uses. See, I'm actually rubbing it on the surface so that it actually gets into the tooth of the canvas. So I will do here because I need a little bit darker. I will not mix that. So let's just see. I just want this to be very, very colorful. I'm just hoping. Last week we did. I used entire white, and then after that, that was cerulean blue. So this time I just decided let's just use ultramarine blue and see what happens. I can use streaky clouds here at the top, right? Blend it. If not, there are two or three ways. Take some drop of water or spray it on the canvas. Many different ways are there. If it dries, then you just have to make sure. I'm going to put some streaky clouds here, and as I come down, we'll use the clouds what is in the reference photo. But for that reason, I need to have that. Otherwise, if there is no blue, I can't show you white clouds. So it's just about contrast. I always keep mentioning that. Blend it properly. So this light color of blue, I need this here so that I can. Here I'll put it as, like I said, streaky clouds if you can, if you want. If not, you can just paint this with a little bit blue as well. Remember, acrylic actually it's going to dry darker, so we have to be very careful with that. I will wait for this to dry. See, although you can put a tape here and then manage the edge, but the drawing is there, so I'm able to see that. That should be enough. By using this type of brush, actually, you can get into that, right? Okay, so I think it's good enough. We'll come back with clouds again. Little bit white, streaky are there, but very blue sky. Here we'll put some clouds. I'm washing my brush. I will use the same brush again, same brush because that corner actually gives me good effect. You can use flat brush sideways. You can use silver brush, round brush also you can use. But if it is too soft, then you just have to make sure that get the edge and bottom. You can actually blend it. Let me take some more white just for clouds, and then we'll go to the field, the green color. Then water is also needed. So what we'll do is, by the time for water, I'll I don't want to use the same one. What I'll do is I will just take some cerulean blue from this, right? Let's use cerulean blue a little bit, not much. I don't want that much. Okay, cerulean blue is the little bit green, greenery, green of that tree which is reflected. So let's just try. So here this time again I'll put white here, so I don't want to make that too dark. Again, try to make sure that you have horizontal strokes. That way, even if something goes wrong. Throat is not good. We'll leave some of them as shimmering light if I really want. That side it has to be. No, I can't have much. While we are at it, what I want to do is let's put some green. Sorry, just a part of reflection here and there. Just a little bit, not too much. Green of the water. We'll come back and put some details on this later. At least I know that that green is there, right? While it is wet, I'll just get that there. So here, just using side of the brush so that again horizontal itself. So anything highlight all is just put it later. We'll leave it as is. That should be good enough. Dark light here is brighter actually because the horizon here most of it is reflection. Okay, that should be good. So now I can go back to sky and put those clouds which we talked about from the reference photo. For that reason, what I'm going to do here is I'll take only white on this side because this is angular brush. If you're using flat brush, again you do the same thing, different ways. Like I said, at any point of time, you can go as much detail as you wish. So the bottom one, I will just want it for now. Okay, let's do the one more layer here. Layers by layer. Then I will smudge this. The bottom one. Okay. Make sure that you get that shape. Then I will smudge it. Smudge. Again, go with another layer. One more layer here somewhere. One more layer. Here just will go swirls, so at least some clouds. Just a suggestion. So those are the layers that we have put. I think that should be enough. I will not do that much of dilly dally with all that. It's good enough. I've I've got the layers mainly layers of clouds, so that should be good enough. Good. Next is the background. So how do you want to put the background is the main thing. I'm going to use this yellow. Those tree trunks are okay. That's fine. So again, let me take some yellow and green. And green is there. So let's just take. I'm just trying to use this. But remember, every time whenever I did painting here, I used to show the paints which I've used. And most of the time I used to mention about being transparent or opaque. This is fabric color. I'm using it on this. You have to know whether it is transparent or opaque. This is actually transparent. So at any point of time, if you don't get bright enough, so that means you are trying to apply this color on top of a dark color. That's what, because usually cadmium yellow, if I use, I don't mind using it on a dark surface because that's pure opaque, and then I can still get it. But in this case, no. So that's the reason why I didn't paint all the thing. And then why I left these ones is the decision or the plan which I made based on the paints I'm using, because I know certain paints are not actually opaque. So based on that, I've left spaces here. So depending on that, we are trying to do that, right? So always keep in mind, because it's not, you might not get the same brightness, you might not have the same brand. So that is the main thing. So what we'll do is, just a minute, I'll just take some paper. I just don't want to spoil anything. Just give me a minute. Just wanted to get some paper. Yes. I think I can use this. I used it for some practicing here. Okay. So let's try this. This is just the rough paper. I'm using the same brush, but this time I'm actually going to use just a little bit of stippling. No water, nothing. The reason why I took this is so that I can actually cover this here. See the top one, even if it is horizon, but still now you don't see anything, but let's see. Okay, let's take a little bit of green. I think I should have taken hooker's green, but let's drag this. At least I just show that field with far away. Okay, let's do the same thing on the other side. So here we can fix that later. That's fine. There. Right? Okay. We'll leave it at that. Then, if anything, because this is not a big painting, so I have to manage with what I have. It's just there. Here is actually mixed with some raw umber or something. So what I'll do is I'll just do it right now. This is the raw umber. I don't have in that raw umber. That's the reason I mentioned, if you have brown or something, you can take. Raw umber gives a different color. So what I'll do here is I will mix that raw umber here. This is just part of that, right? And then also do the same thing here too. Again, go with the perspective, so you don't have to. Then go with some green. Mix that. This is the bank, so it is a little bit darker here. Let me just use some more green. Maybe I'll use some hooker's green. Okay, let's just see that one. Okay, good enough. If I need, I can put some highlight later, but all I'm trying to do is I'm just mixing this edge. Nothing in particular, but following the perspective. Irregular, so it doesn't have to be exactly same. That's what it is in the reference photo. Most of the time, even though I have reference photos, I usually compose them based on three, four reference photos. Doesn't have to be only one. Or sometimes I add. Let me just take some yellow. I didn't get enough light here actually for this landscape here, this side. Okay, here it get a bit darker, but for that reason I'll mix this raw umber with my ultramarine blue. You get that little bit of darker there. You can actually add some green to that. You don't have to have add black to that. So as you can see, I've just made that little bit darker color there itself. These three colors. Prussian blue works good to get it darker. Let me just see. I'm just going to stipple some here and a little bit darker here, a little bit darker there. Put a line there. And here, not much. Just leave it like that. Right? Okay. So a little bit darker wherever those trees are going to be like that. Okay. Right. And on that field I can just put some lines. It's just how right. Should be good enough. There it is actually more yellowish, but I'll try to put some yellow. Like I said, see, when I try to put it on dark, it won't get because it's not opaque. You have to decide that in the beginning itself, make sure. Okay, so now while we are at it, I'm going to take this green and some yellow, some white I need, but I think just far away one, so I have to mute the colors. So for that reason, I am going to add a touch of white to that. I'll still use my brown brush. So by adding this white to this green, that gives um, something which is not it is all background, right? So I need to let's just okay. First, let's put this color, and then if you want, just take the tip of the brush and make sure here you have an option. But what I would say is just the far away is the regular. Okay. Oh, I put some paint here. Okay. It goes here. Just the stipple regular shape for our trees. Just put some darkness too. That's the reason I said you don't have to worry about horizon because we have these far away trees. Otherwise, I could have put the paper and then if it is beach, sunset, maybe I could have tried for crisp edge, but just stippling, still stippling. Okay. Make sure that it's irregular, you're not following any pattern. That's the important thing. Okay, now what I'll do is, because that's all just very, very muted, I'll just put some dark in between. Just take that same dark on the same brush and try to put that just represents tree and little bit of shadow. Not everywhere, but you have to make sure how you use the brush. So at the bottom, if you really need, I can actually get some dark somewhere here and there again. The darkness. Right. So now at least those faraway trees are there. If you feel that it is somewhere too much, then I can actually increase that little bit there. Move here and some big one here, just to get that regular shapes. And go back. I'm just looking at my own painting and try to fix anything which is looking like a sticker or repeated pattern. That's what I'm not going to put too much of highlight. The one which we already put is the one. Far away trees, not much of detail. So as you can see, that's what it looks like. So should be enough. Will not do too much of dilly dally. So that's done. That's done. This is something else is here, but I don't know. I can fix that. So we will do the next rest. That's easy. Okay, so okay, I've just left some white spots here, so that is actually shimmering white. Next, we'll concentrate on this, or we can concentrate on the trees. Trees, if you see here, the lines here, tree trunks. Light is from top left, so we'll put tree trunks. Let's use the same raw umber and white. Enough white. So I'm going to use this because white, titanium white is uh, opaque. So I'll start from this side. Let's just see this is all right, right? This goes till the top, till here, and the composition and the trees are actually, I like them. They're not straight. Okay, let's start from there, and it goes here, little bit bent. So once I do that, I'm going to go sideways. As I come downwards, I'll make it a little bit. We'll fix this again at the bottom. So on one side, I'm just going to take this tip of this. A light is from this side, like I said. I'm going to put that light, otherwise I won't be able to see that. Even the lines on what is that on trunk is needed, but it's too far. I'm going to blend this little bit so that it is three-dimensional, and then I'm able to see. If you really want, you can actually go with some lines here and there, just very thin lines for the tree, whatever is visible there, right? A little bit, not much. Not everything. I think that should be enough. I will not base here. If I really want to fix this at the bottom, I just have to put some darker color and make sure that that actually is the yeah, part of that, right? Also put some yellowish greenish like that. Okay, should be good enough. We do the same thing for the other one as well, right? Okay, so this time, hmm, one comes from here, one comes from there, so the length is still here. So I am going to put that here, and I will put that there. Okay, now again go back. See, I didn't make them in descending or ascending, so that's the thing that I'm following. A little bit thick. Then do the same thing for this one too. I'll only blend and not put lines on these ones. Make sure your brush comes to a point, otherwise this is very delicate what you're painting. You don't want to be spoiling those trees, right? Next, another one more area. Intentionally, I'll put that actually. It's one or two, but I'll just put one more. Let's put two, but they are together anyways. That's behind that one. I think that's where it is, right? Okay, anyways, if I want, I can actually change that one more here. These are a little bit far away, but I still want to make sure that liner brush. If you want, you can actually use liner brush. Okay, yeah, I started this. Leave it there. Okay, fine. Just feel that it was less thick. Correct. Right. Some lines, if you really want it. Right, I'm able to see. Okay. So the question is whether to do these branches with this brush. I think I will. But before that, let's fix what is at the bottom. That one doesn't have it. Let it little bit up, part of the dark, part of the darkness. Right? So it is part of the landscape. So next, we'll just use. Let's see. I'll use that yellow, which is not first of all opaque. So we will try whatever is possible. So for that reason, for yellow with yellow, I'm going to add a little bit of white. A little bit of white actually. Yellow ochre is good, but again you have to see what kind of yellow ochre you have. I'll show you different ways of again painting this tree. Let's try this. So there are three colors here. One is yellow, olive green, hooker's green. You can see that colors are different. So if I mix that ultramarine blue with this, it will get a little bit darker. So darker green, because green is already made up of yellow and blue. So if I'm going to add darker blue, it has to turn into a little bit bluish green. So we'll keep that as a dark itself instead of adding any other color. So now what we'll do is we'll take this and take a little bit of white, just so that I make it a little bit opaque, and then I think I'll use this itself, but if you really need, you can actually. So let's start with here. So I'll put some lines which are visible on those branches. Then remember, it doesn't have to be this yellow, but I am actually going to do the mixed one, so I will have all lines here. And even the top a little bit. Okay. And now what I'll do here is I will mix these two and get this little bit very light green first. I'm not mixing hooker's green, I'm mixing only this. So I will wash my brush, because I'm going to use same brush. Spread these bristles and then just touch the tip. So when you spread, that's what you need to get. And again, depends on what type of brush you are using. So if I do that, I get lines there itself, so I don't have to. These are very small, so you can actually use liner brush too, but I'm actually going to go with this. Remember, we'll come back with the darker color later, but let me just put. We could have gone ahead with darker first, then highlight next. Now I'll just go ahead with this. When you put darker, you get more idea exactly what is there. But let's just put this first. And they are far away. Okay, so now I'll wash my brush. Straight away, I'll go with my hooker screen. Let's just see, I'll take a little bit ultramarine blue to get a little bit more darker. See, as you can see, paint is very thick. Like actually, I'm using dry brush. Again, spread this little bit, and then try to see. You can actually show the shapes. We have dry brush. Like I said, one drop of water will spoil it. You won't get those lines at all. See the way how I'm actually getting, so you have to make sure that you get those lines. After this, I'm not going to put any highlights on this, so I'll just leave because all the colors are there. All I'm trying to do here is to make sure that they are looking like branch and branch shapes. You have to make sure that's the important part. If not, even from far, I won't be able to see that. See that? That's very important. So that brush work is actually, when it is small, it's very difficult. So I can't stress enough to practice before you try this. Again, I'll go back. Those two are good. Some shadow of that particular branches is on the tree trunk will paint that. You can see all of them actually have. So because light is from top left. So then this is all dried, so I can actually go back with this. These two are actually joining, but in that, okay, this is in the front, so we'll just paint this first. One, little bigger. I don't know. There. This one is a little bit bigger. I think you can feel more comfortable painting this than okay. Okay, so now let's go with this first olive green again, like a type of dry brush. See that line, those lines, you need to get those lines, that particular. If you get something like this, let me just put, if you get something like that, that's not enough. So you have to get some lines like that. That edge actually has to be like that. So that's what we are after. More paint is not good. Less paint, tip of the brush, then you will get that effect. Dry brush, it's just a dry brush. And use the canvas surface, right? Canvas surface is rough. So I'm sure that you can use that to your advantage. So then let's go to dark one. Make sure I'm not adding any uh, water to this. Let me see if this fails. If I'm not able to get those lines, that means I will wash my brush and come back again. I think I'm good. This side, okay. This side will be more shadowed because light is from top left. Again, not everywhere, so I'm just trying to focus on certain areas where I need. Strokes. Make sure that your strokes are right. Okay, so I think that is also good enough. I'm gonna put one more here and just having that. Again, go back to this. I'm just going back with the same brush. Now we'll try to overlap that previous one. To repeat this process here for all of them, and there is no other option. Composition wise, actually, I can see there are different things of thinking of composition. Sometimes when you put certain things, they are supposed to be in terms of odd numbers, like birds, 1, 3, 5. Again, trees, if I thought of not having this, but the composition wise having this behind it, it's actually more interesting. So I wanted to put one, but again that makes it four, so that's why I put no hard and fast rule, but that's what I have learned and practiced, but it's just let this overlap that. So that's where that three-dimensional thing comes into picture. So let that go there. So that way this has all the colors. Olive green is there, this is there, this one actually is. Good. Okay, so I'll wash this brush actually for now. We just take this and follow the same thing for our bigger tree. Actually, is more colorful. I will try. Remember this. Our this yellow is not opaque. So for that reason, I added white to that. So I have to base. Let's take some more white to that. Yeah, something white like that. Yeah, that's some punch to that color. Okay, a little bit it's closer, so a little bit bigger too. In all of this, right? Okay, so let's go back to this olive. Like I said, this is not the only way to paint trees. Mainly these palm trees. You have. I'm not going to cover that yellow part. I'm just going to get some suggestions of leaves on the side. That brightness I will leave a little bit. I need that brightness. Then I will come back with dark and then try to fix put on just build in that. Yes, that's more than enough. I've just given the suggestion of all this. I think should be good enough. So let's just take a bit longer. Okay, let's just go with the same brush again, darker. Let me add this blue just to get that dark enough. Okay, so now let's see. Something is there. I will leave that line show through the edge of that. Again, I'll do the same thing for this side too. You have to make sure that you get those lines. Very, very important with your brush itself. Very, very dry brush was on that one. Gives the texture of the canvas for all this. I think that should be good enough, but I feel that something is not quite right here. some lines of highlights here, so I'm actually going to use this light itself. So let's differentiation for that, right? A little bit here, not everywhere actually. Okay, there is some light is there, so I think I'll leave it that way. It's not going to look like a star outside, right? Right. Okay. So now the shadows of this, I'm going to take same thing. It's dry, but that's okay. I need anyways water. Not too dark. Just one drop of water. Same place. The shadow of this is somewhere from top there to, let me just take that of those branches on this. Make sure that you get some hard edge, so otherwise I won't be able to see. Do the same thing for this one anyways. That will be darker until that portion, I think. And I'll do the same thing for this one too. And for these ones too. Shadow of this one is on this, so I have to use that. And also use this edge, that edge, right? So shadows I put. So shadows on the ground, it's actually on that side, so I won't be able to see any of them. So now let's go back to our boat and then the reflection. While we are at it, let's just see. So we have some yellow. There are some leaves floating here. So I'm going to put that. You won't be able to see until I put darker. Some leaves are floating here. So I'm actually going to use that. And some leaves are floating here as well. Okay, a little bit here and there. Okay, now let's go back to the dark one. Try to put some darks there. So you actually take that and make it a bit darker here. I need to put a line for that shadow there, and then a little bit of line here too. Okay, Some darker reflections here I need to put, so I'll pull it downwards. This dry brush will get a little darker reflection downwards. Okay, so now let's go back with this umber, umber, and I'll mix that with white because that one is not. This is not opaque, so I have to mix. But anyhow, I need a color. See, if you had mixed burnt sienna or burnt umber, you won't get this. For the houseboat, if you mix burnt sienna, it will be more little bit towards reddish. Van Dyke brown or this will get you some kind of this, but I still feel that maybe I need some kind of reddish color, yellowish color. Just a minute. Let's see. I'll add red instead of burnt sienna. Let's see what happens. Burnt sienna is better, but what do you know? This is a different red. Actually, it's not the proper red. Scarlet red. Okay, I'll take this as a color. Burnt sienna is good, but burnt sienna I didn't take. It's just somewhere in other box. I'll not worry about it. So let's just get painting. Then I just want to make sure that it's visible, right? That is the main thing. Here is the line. Line gets still here because there is dark at the bottom. So I need to make sure perspective wise again. Like I said, make sure perspective is very, very important in this case. Okay, that is darker. So I will just manage that one. Okay, so it comes here. Some shadows and all we need to put anyways. If I go here, it comes like that, and then it comes there like that, and that is this kind of roof here. Okay, we'll paint this. Okay. This will, this is, okay, that's the edge anyways. I just added one drop, otherwise this would have not given me, um,
Hello,
okay, who is here?
that is here.
What is the time, daughter?
108
Uh-huh.
p.m.
Why are you late, daughter?
Uh,
Enjoying Sunday?
yeah, something like that. Enjoy. Like and subscribe whoever enjoys Sunday.
Yeah. Okay, whoever is watching later too, actually you can try that one too.
Whoever enjoys Sunday, whoever likes to enjoy Sunday, please like and subscribe to our channel because we also like enjoying Sunday.
Yes, correct. Very much correct. highlights, some shadows, so many things are there here. But there is a guy with something I think, but I'm not able to see. What I'll do here
That's
is
a houseboat.
houseboat. Yes,
Well, the
that's
hovercraft.
that's a Kerala houseboat, normal usual houseboat.
First time saw it, I
Let
thought
me
it was
just
a
take
hovercraft.
black this time. Little bit black. I'm going to take. I need that.
Remember that black is killing color.
If not, I could have used that, but I will not get that. But this black means I'm not straight away taking black. I'm going to take this and
So you're
add
going to
black.
make it dark brown.
Yeah,
Some type of dark brown.
because anyways it is acrylic, so it tries darker. So first, what we'll do is we'll paint this, just leaving that part. Remember it, houseboat actually they have shapes, so based on that I'm trying. Smaller ones actually are difficult to paint. Although I don't call this that small, but still it's difficult. So there is something is here that I will leave that little bit white there, so at least I know. This is just to get, because the light doesn't reach there inside, it's closed and it's just dark. So I will just leave that, thinking that there is space in between. Again, let's go back. Some highlights and all we need to put, but we will worry about it later. This is something like it goes up and down the door itself. Yeah, something like that. Again with perspective, I'll just get this here itself. That's enough. These ones you just need to put some lights. No lights are there inside. White. Right. Again, we'll put some on the roof. There's some kind of shape is that which covers that. That's that. Then I will only take Rambar and try to get some lines around this. Just show that line texture. So that's what I got. Right. Okay, here what I want is actually I should have taken some not this yellow, at least yellow ochre. Okay, let's see how we can get with this color, this and a little bit white. Something is there inside, so I'm actually going to use the same color here. here is some highlight. I have to use this the folding, right? I will use that little. Just wait a minute so that I can actually use a bit of dry brush to get that line there. Okay, before that, here something is inside. I can't see. Right? Something is there. Okay. I think this is just the cloth hanging. I think I'll just use this itself. I don't pure white. I think somebody is sitting there or somewhere here. Then there is some kind of stick here, right? And then we use raw umber a little bit and black again. I think there is black or no. It dries darker, so I'm just worried. Okay, don't want too much of dark, but let's see if this dark is not enough. Then let's see. This is again perspective as this side, and that's again perspective side, this side. Okay, let's go back to not that color, this color. This actually, if it reflects, it is somewhere there. In that reflection, because that is that reflection, and then we do the same reflection here too. It's just reflection, so this one can be just dark enough. Start with black little bit here. Just and let's just see, I talked about some highlights here and there, so I'm actually going to put some highlights there on the door there, and it uses it here too. Okay, let me do the same thing for some highlight here on that one. some shimmering light lines. We'll put those lines a little bit. Yes, that's our reflection. I think we will not dilly-dally with that too much. But I think there is something here. So if I go back with a little bit of this dark, okay, and mhm, should be good enough. I will not put too much of that. So let's start working on the foreground so that way we can finish this painting. So green ones are there. So green, 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 green is not there. Blue is there. I can actually try with little bit inside. All I need is only a little bit. Let's just see mix to white. Actually, I need a little bit. Okay, let's just see if it doesn't work. Then we know it's not enough. It's not enough. I need more white. That blue, that both blues actually they don't. They have the same value, so I can't use it. Little bit white. I need brighter, and then we can actually go back and forth with light and dark. But let's just see. I will wash this brush. There's too much water in that. Now let's just see. All I need is just to put some highlights here and there. Right? Yes, makes sense. Then we will see after this. There it is. That's what I'm talking about. There. This is where you can actually make up shapes here because those are the shapes that I see. We'll put a little bit darker and a little bit lighter later, but I need to make some of these shapes with the dark and lights. Then only. Here. So you just have to manage this. Everything actually feels time consuming, yes, of course. I can't stress that enough. You want a good painting, there are shortcuts are there. You can actually try abstract painting, impressionistic. But again, depends on interest, whatever interest you get. So depending on that, try it out. So these type of paintings actually they take longer time. Although I am trying to do it a little bit faster. If I would have done this on my own, maybe I would have taken a little bit longer. Take a break, do that. That's what I would have done. Here it's the same value. I'm able to see that. That's why we had put that green in the beginning so that I can actually manage these lines. That was the plan. Like I said, you need to have a plan. You need to have a plan. So that is the plan, according to me. Let's try. Right. I think I have put enough, but if I really need, we can put more here. But I'll just leave it like that. Now let's go back with a little bit of green here. I will use olive green itself. And olive green is enough, I think. It will try darker olive green. Let's see. That reflection, all these reflections, somewhere you will actually get that. I'm going to do that way. Remember that I'll put this little bit here and there. So many are there actually. But the bottom one I need to smudge, but I will just apply this first before I smudge. Now, now let me smudge the bottom a little bit as much as possible. It's just how much you want. I think I'll leave it at this. So it's just up to you how much you want to put it. Okay, so next, what I'll concentrate here is the same blue, but more white. Just some highlights here and there. It's not pure white. I can put pure white, but I think I'll go with this. Okay, so the one wherever light is shimmering, you remember that? That's where light is shimmering somewhere here, as far as I can see. from here reflection. So you could have applied all this paint and then just did it, and just depends. I am not going to do too much of details here, but I think whatever I feel is good enough. So what I want to do here is, if I get this little bit color here, with that one too, you can shine. So let's just see if I can. I can represent that tree in somewhere there. This reflection, so it is just there. If you look at this, that's the length. So branches are actually going to go below that. So I am actually going to put that strand. I think I've done enough, so I'm going to leave it as is. If I really want, as a last line, I really want that. So then little bit of reflection here. I've done enough. I think that should be enough. So I think I'll end this painting here. So here is the. That's fine. So that's how it has turned out. I hope you like. But there is one more tree there actually. You know, painted that. Let's just do that actually. Otherwise, it looked empty. Let's just do this, that one, and then some tree trunk I need. So for that reason, I need some this and white. Oh, how can I forget that? I totally forgot about it. Okay, let's just do that. Just same some brownish color actually. And then that is somewhere. It actually breaks the horizon, so that's good. Right, okay. All I need to do is I can use this brush. Let me just use this brush, the first one which we used. Very. This actually I like it because the way I can get right, right. Okay, and then I can go with some hooker screen with round brush. Let's just see with round brush. Yellow is needed, but let's just put first some of this. Get some stippling. So at least I got that texture outside. So with that brush, that's one more thing about that brush. This looks not right. So let's do it something different here. Right. And now that. Okay. Again, irregular shapes, so you know that it doesn't have to be. Just put something next to that so that it's just some part of this. Right? Do I need to put highlight? I'm just thinking, yes, maybe a little bit. And this one yellow. Actually, it's not a perfect yellow for this. Let's see. That green is there, yellow is there, and white, just to get that like opaqueness. Again, I'll just use some. Okay, that should be good enough. Some, if not full, at least something is there. Where is that? Okay, so that I might have some shadow here. Then I will leave it at this. So I'll leave it at this. So let's hope that you enjoyed. It's a small painting, but takes more time for details. I hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't subscribed, if you're here for the first time, please consider subscribing. Also hit that like button if you like the video, so that helps YouTube algorithm. So uh, please then consider subscribing. Don't forget. If you like that video, hit that like button, and uh, don't forget to join me next Sunday again. I will see you next week. Until then, bye bye.